you want to stop risking your own funds.
What's happening, guys? So, first stream back in a long while. Had a little bit of rest from streaming, purely because just been so busy with other stuff. It's very hard to fit it in the schedule. Recording videos is a little bit easier, but we're back. We're going to try and get a few more streams going again. And basically today we're just going to look at the London session. We're a little bit late to the party. I would have liked to have got on a little bit earlier, but I had a meeting, so I couldn't get on. But what we're going to be doing is just basically having a look for a few setups, go through a couple of setups that I've had already this week, and just basically hang out and talk to you guys and see what's going on. So let's get into the charts right now, and we'll see what's happening. Not expecting loads of people to be here just yet, because we are very it's been a while, basically. So yeah, hopefully some of you guys will come through. Be good to see some of the old faces in the chat. And yeah, so just jumping into the charts right now. We're on oil. Oil has officially become my favorite pair. Years ago, it was my least favorite. I hated it. It used to burn me all the time. But recently, we have made amends. And these are two trades I had from yesterday. This one I actually posted on our Instagram story, and this one I took late last night as a very low risk trade, which actually ended up playing out overnight, which is unusual for me to put a trade on just before I go to bed. But it was looking too good, and we decided to take the trade, and literally we're having a perfect reaction off this supply zone over here, which was the reason why I wanted to take the trade. But I'll just run through this one real quick. So this one is a pretty simple stuff. Now, if you've been a member of the channel for a while, you'll probably know. I don't see why the chat isn't. I can't type in the chat right now. That's interesting. Let me just check that real quick. Yeah, anyone can send that. Yeah. I'll refresh this real quick. Oh, there we go. Hey, so my chat was frozen there for a second, so I couldn't see anyone say anything. What's up, ES? What's going on? Thanks for joining. Hope you're all good. Yeah, so basically, if you've been a viewer of the channel for a while, you'll understand our strategies. We trade the silver bullet, which is not our strategy, it's someone else's. And then we have a supply and demand strategy, and we also have a breakout strategy, which we've created. This is a breakout strategy, and actually usually we use the Asia range, but I've found that we can also now use a different range. Now, I'm not going to go into that today really, unless we find a setup on it, which then I will trade it live. But basically on this, on the 45 minute, we had a very simple price action setup. Again, if you don't know what the price action setup is this candle formation here. Okay, we got 3 candles. We got a bullish candle, a bearish indecision candle, which respects the low ideally, doesn't always have to be the case, and then a bullish candle which has to respect the middle candle or the indecision candle's low before breaking out the high and pushing up for a 1-to-1 there. Exactly the same setup here on the later trade. Okay, we had a nice bullish candle, bearish indecision candle which actually pushed up, and clearly the decision was up. We then had a breakout of the high, so I took the trade, and I think we got the same setup on the 30 minute as well. Yeah, exactly the same. I actually took this on the 30 minute. In this case, actually, this candle broke the low, but obviously on the 45, we are all set. And then that just rode through the night. Didn't risk too much on this, to be honest, because I never like holding trades overnight. Never had good luck with it, but this one I thought it looks too good. On the left here, if we go to the left, we've got this beautiful supply zone, which we're actually having an insane reaction off right now. Unfortunately, didn't get to the charts in time to take an advantage of that, but we got a nice fair value gap up there, which eventually got filled, so that's why I took the trade. And yeah, we ended up winning 2 for 2 yesterday on oil, which was nice. Unfortunately, again, didn't really have much time to make videos on these. I've just been so busy with other stuff as well, but I'm going to try and get as much content out as possible going forward, because I've missed doing it. Although I've still been pretty consistent, I just don't feel like I've been as consistent as I could be. Not through lack of motivation, but just lack of time, really. This is a trade we had on Aussie USD yesterday as well. We had a really good day yesterday. Same setup. Okay, we had that bullish candle, bearish sort of indecision candle, quite a big body, but we respected the low, broke out the high, and we pushed up. And that was also quite a late trade, but that was about a 5:30 entry. But this is playing in with a new strategy we've been working on. It's not really new, it's using the same rules as the Asia range, but we're just using a different time of day, and it's been working out very nicely. We also had Aussie USD with a really nice fake out of this new setup. Okay, some of you may realize what's going on already, but basically we had a fake out of this range, and then price came back in, closed back in below, pushed up, broke out the low, and we went for a 1-to-1 and we won that. We could have definitely kept a runner on that one, or even gone for a 1-to-2, but been sticking with the 1-to-1s a little bit recently, just because they've been working out quite well. Karma, are you still using silver bullet? Absolutely, yeah. I've just actually posted yesterday a short on the silver bullet. It was a back testing situation. Now, what I was going to do today is, unfortunately, we've missed the kill zone for London, which is 8 AM to 9 AM. But we can go into the zones and see if we've missed anything today. And then what we're going to be looking for is when this candle closes here at 9:30. We're going to see what the next candle does at 10 o'clock close, and then we're going to be looking for trades after 10 o'clock, maybe 10:30. So we'll just have to see what happens there. Going through today, have we missed any opportunities? Not yet on Euro USD. Okay, we actually have had a one winner this morning, first thing on GJ. Had a nice winner yesterday as well, but basically a very simple breakout of the Asia range. Okay, closure above the zone, and then quite simply waited for price to break above the high, went for a 1-to-1, and the volume came in coming up to this high volume zone to the left here, which is actually a nice supply zone which has broken some structure. So there we go. Yo DC, what's going on? Thanks for coming to the chat. Hope you're all good. Hope trading's going well. Appreciate you coming. So yeah, basically just gonna have a look at the charts. Haven't really got a goal for this session. Just kind of chill, hang out, see what we can find, wait for the jump. AKA the jump being any trades to jump out of us to take. I'm not going to be forcing anything today. One thing I found in the last couple of weeks of my trading is that I've been a little bit forceful on some trades. I'm not really sure why, because usually I'm pretty good with being chilled with my trading, but recently the last few weeks been a little bit forceful with it, and it's basically just been a break even, a little bit of a loss. You know, I'm quite happy to share that with you guys, but I've kind of had a break of the trade in the last sort of week or so, sort of to reevaluate, and as I have done that, as you may have just seen if you just joined me, we had some fantastic trades, one here and one here yesterday on Aussie USD. Obviously had one great trade yesterday on GJ, another one today on GJ, and oil yesterday gave us 2 bangers as well. So sometimes I think with trading, like, there's always more to learn, and also you've got to try and like control your emotions a little bit. I don't know why. There's no real reason for me to like start forcing trades. I think I was just getting a little bit too ahead of myself, maybe, I don't know. But after taking a step back, relaxing for a bit, doing some back testing in my quiet times and whatever else, things have come back and we've been absolutely smashing it this week. So we had a couple of good trades last week as well, but it was a bit of a break even. The week before that was a bit of a loss, but it's what it is. Yo Tanji, what's going on? Welcome back, man. It's nice to see you guys coming back into the stream. Sorry I haven't been streaming for a while. I did say this at the beginning, but I've just been so busy with other stuff. Haven't always been at the desk, been out and about. And I do want to try and get at least one stream a week, if not more. And I'm also going to be looking to do some streams over on Discord, or even some like exclusive content for you guys over there, because I think that would be good. Like, you know, like a weekly analysis on a Sunday, I'll post that in there, or whatever else. So we'll see. I appreciate you guys coming. Basically the goal for today is just to chill, see if any trades jump out at us. If they do, that would be great. In a second I'm just going to go into the pairs for the silver bullet and see what we can find there. Okay, I can actually see a trade jumping out of me right now. I'm just gonna, I haven't actually done any analysis on Aussie USD yet, but let's do that. We have, I could be in for a trade right now actually, because this is jumping out at me, right? This is a big jump here, so I'm gonna take this while I've just been talking. Basically, if you're new to the channel, you probably won't know why I'm taking this trade. If you're not new to this channel, you'll know exactly why I'm taking this trade. It's Aussie USD. I'm gonna take this on my personal. Okay, stop loss 666, eh? Well, we'll go for that. Let's see if that's gonna work out for us. And yeah, I'll run through why I'm taking the trade. But basically, we've got the Asia range up here. Okay, we've got the high on the 30-minute, the low on the 30-minute. We've had a breakout. Okay, we did have a close back inside the zone, but this candle hasn't broken above the high. If it had broken above the high, that would be a fake out for me, and that would be a buy. But we haven't done that. We've respected the high. We've broken out the low. I've actually managed to get a nice pullback from where he'd already been, which is good. Okay, our stop loss is actually going to go just above the white candle there, and then a 1-to-1 is going to be at this point. Okay, and that's what we're looking for. Basically, we have got a huge fair value gap down below here. We've got a nice looking supply zone, demand zone as well, down at this point. Okay, which has had a bit of a liquidity grab off the bottom of this low, which has then created a big push up. Also, another good thing to look at is that we are here at this high volume zone and reacting off that, creating a new high, and then a new higher low, really, kind of. We haven't really had a break of character yet on the 30, but on the 5 minute we certainly have. Okay, we've had a new higher high. Oh my god, hold on. New higher low, new higher high, new higher low, and then we've had a change of character down here, breaking out of this low, which is a change of character in the trend. Okay, right there. That's a change of character of this trend here, not this one. This isn't a new high yet. Sorry, new. Oh my god, a new lower high yet. Okay, this is the new lower high, and this is the new lower low. So we'll see how it goes. We'll let that one play out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to oil now. We're just going to go and see if we got any setups for the silver bullet on oil. Now, what I've been testing quite a lot while I've been quiet on these streams and whatnot is the silver bullet on the oil. And it's been working quite well. So we're going to go down to the time frame. It's going to pop in here in a second, and we're going to see if we find any setups. Okay, so this line here is the Asia high on the 30 minute. Yeah, August hasn't been too great for me. Yeah, August has been a super weird one, to be honest. I don't know why, but I've seen 2 other people that I know also struggle in August. It's been a really funny month. But yeah, it's usually because August is normally quite funny because a lot of people go on holiday. You know, I have in my other business, I have lots of clients who are bankers, and literally I'd say all of them have been away pretty much the whole of August. So I think the banks are very quiet, trading's very quiet, and summer usually does get a bit like that because everyone decides to go away, right? So but I've noticed things picking up now. We're coming into September, so we'll just see how that goes. So what we're going to look for is, obviously we've missed this trading hour, unfortunately, but we're going to look to see if we had any silver bullet setups on oil today. Okay, now I can already see it, and we've already had one, and it's great. So we had our first fair value gap here, but we didn't really have a liquidity grab here. Okay, so what we're going to be looking for is the liquidity grab. Now you can see we had equal highs on this wick here. Okay, we didn't actually break above that at all. Prices then pushed down, and then we've had a liquidity grab off the bottom of this low here. Okay, well, this new higher low. Okay, little liquidity grab and then a push up. We then had a fair value gap at this point. Now this could be an interesting one. Fair value gap there, because the entry for me would have been as we came down into that fair value gap. Okay, and I would have definitely put my stop below the zone here. Now you can see that we had a wick down very close to the stop. Now I never put some people put their stop right on the top of the candle. I don't know why people do that, to be honest, because very often, as you can see here, you get equal highs and you're definitely getting stopped out there. So I always give it a little bit of breathing room below the candle wicks, right? So I think we could have, if we did enter this trade, I don't think we would have got stopped out here because we don't have any spreads, or at least I don't on my account. And if we're going for a 1 to 2, there's a really nice silver bullet strategy right there. Okay, so just for those who are just joining, quick one, we had a push up, we had a fair value gap here. Now I reckon some people would have entered on this fair value gap, but we didn't have a liquidity grab yet. Okay, we were just continuing our push up. This is an equal high, so nothing to act on here. So we're waiting for the next one to come, and that was actually underneath this low here. You can see we've been in this upward trend. We've actually liquidity grabbed underneath, pushed up, created a fair value gap, and that would have been the entry right there. Is there any other opportunities? Yes. So if you hadn't got that one, okay, I'll put this over here for now. We've got this candle here, which we were just talking about, which may have nearly stopped us out, has actually liquidity grabbed off the bottom of this point. Okay, and then prices then pushed up again. We've actually broken structure this time, and we've got a fair value gap right here, and also, well, it continues really down to here because these candles have no wick. So basically just as a full fair value gap here. Price then came into the zone, which would trigger us into the trade, and likely in this situation I'd have my stop below this candle here, or even this candle here, going for a 1 to 2. And there's 2 opportunities there we could have taken in oil this morning in the London kill zone. So simple stuff, really. Oil's been, I'd say oil is the chart I've been looking at the most. and it really does. It plays well. It does well. So there's two opportunities there you could have taken for the silver bullet. I'd say probably this one is the better, to be honest. This is a really nice liquidity grab, and we've had a breaker structure. We never got a breaker structure on this push up, but an entry here would have won. So let's go to the S&P 500 real quick, and we'll see if we got any situations on there. I'm just gonna have to get rid of this because the timing's wrong. Yes, we did. I can already see it. So S&P 500, probably my favorite pair again for the recommended indice or chart for the silver bullet. And what we had here is a big volume push up. Okay, then we had a liquidity grab. Now we didn't actually grab off the top of here, but we did grab off the top of here, and maybe this could have counted, but to be honest, this is equal high. Excuse me, equal highs for me, but we had a liquidity grab off the top here. We then had price push down, creating fair value gaps. Now this gap wasn't one that got tagged into. Okay, the next one is that one right there, or is that not? No, that is not one there. I actually thought that was one there, so maybe we didn't get an opportunity this morning. Hold on. Well, actually, yes, we did. We did, but yeah, we haven't got any fair value gaps really, apart from this one down here. But at this point, it's a bit overextended for me to take a trade. So actually, I thought this when I was looking at it, I thought this was the fair value gap here, but we actually don't have one until this point here, where potentially, if you did take a trade, it could have been a loser. But then we had a turnaround, and I'm just going to zoom out quick to see if what. Not really a liquidity grab there, but then we do have this impulse here with a fair value gap, which could have won. And then of course, if price did come up to this supply zone, and you could have won. So really, there wasn't that much to take here on the S&P 500 today. Silver bullet wise, you'd have had to been very patient. You'd had to watch out for this gap here, which could have triggered you in if you were thinking this was a liquidity grab here. So not that bad, not that good, sorry. US oil is definitely the one today. Anyone had any trades this morning at all? Let's have a look at the NAS, see if the NAS gave us an opportunity. Again, same liquidity grab, same fair value gap. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Same situation here. So yeah, not a lot, to be honest. I mean, you could have potentially... Oh no, because you had this one beforehand. Yeah, no, it's not too good, really. Oh. Let's have a look at gold. I always like to go back and just see if any situations arose. Okay, gold is good. We had this first push up. Okay. We had fair value gaps, but we had no liquidity grab. We then had our liquidity grab off the top of these sort of equal highs here. Okay, we didn't make a new high, but we took off the top of here. Price then pushed down, and we have our first fair value gap here. Okay, price came into the gap. Stop loss would probably be either above this high or even above here. If we went above there, would we have got a 1 to 2? No. So really you'd want your stop above here anyway, because that's usually I like to do 2 candles or so, unless we're like, if the gap's quite close to the high, I'll put it above the high. If we got 2 candles, then we'll go for that. So if you had your stop in the right place, you could have got a trade there. Is there one going the other way? Oh, have I just deleted? Yes, I have. Sometimes I delete the indicator and it's really annoying. Going the other way, we have a potential. Okay, you had a new lower low here, and then we had a push up, breaking structure. So a bit of liquidity grab off the bottom before we had a nice displacement or impulse up. Fair value gaps, we have a little one just here. Okay, and then nothing else until price comes into that gap. Alright, and then let's say we go stop at the bottom of this candle here, go for a 1 to 2, and there you go. So there are opportunities in this time frame. You just got to know what you're looking for. Okay, surprised that S&P 500 didn't really give us anything today. I mean, we got this here, but actually inside the zone, not a lot, unless we caught this one here, which wasn't actually the nicest. We didn't really get a liquidity grab. So yeah, I'm just going to check that this isn't. Yeah, no, that is perfect, equal lows there. But when you go down to the 1 minute chart, you really notice how accurate stuff is. You know, like just this is a prime example. Yeah, the market isn't random. Look at this, right? These two candle bottoms literally meet by, like they just meet, but they are 2 minutes apart, right? They didn't want to create a fair value gap there. They wanted to fill that gap in, and price pushed down. So these fair value gaps are really important, because when they are there, they are a point of interest that, as you can see, we've had a reaction from. We filled it, probably filled a little smaller one on the seconds chart, and then price is pushed down from that supply zone. So there we go. Right, let's go and have a look at how our Aussie trade's doing, because I've kind of forgotten about that. I'm not doing too bad, kind of pushing up a little bit, but nothing special yet really. Let's have a look at the Aussie trade, see if sorry, the Aussie. Now, I don't really like the currency pairs too much for this strategy, but sometimes they do work out. No real liquidity grab here at all. Could have entered off this fair value gap and you would have won, but meh. Yeah, not too much really going on there. So, not going to go for that. What's everyone looking at this morning then? Anyone looking at anything special? Let's look at GJ. Alright, GJ could have given us a setup. No, I'll just get rid of this just to get rid of confusion. So we had this impulse here, which was beginning at the 8 AM session or hour. Okay, now if you had entered off any of these fair value gaps, then obviously you would have been a winner. But if you were waiting for your liquidity grab, it would be, obviously we had a liquidity grab here, but initially we had this liquidity grab here. Okay, so we came down, liquidity grabbed off the bottom of here, pushed up, broke a little bit of structure on the lower time frames, and then we had two options, right? We were either going to be looking for, we had a liquidity grab here, so we're going to look for a bearish fair value gap, and we had a liquidity grab here, so we're going to look for a bullish liquidity fair value gap. So really, we're just waiting to see if we got a fair value gap. Now, the first one that got created is this bullish one here, okay, which we didn't get tagged into, okay, because we need a second candle after this one to tag into it. But then we create this one here with displacement. All right, price tagged into that, and the rest is, well, as you can see, there you go. So that's a great example of technically having two liquidity grabs here. We took off the bottom, we took off the top, and then all we got to wait for is that fair value gap. Now, if we had got a bearish fair value gap, then likely with displacement, like with quite a large move, then we'd be looking for a sell. But obviously price didn't want to do that. It consolidated after the grabs, kind of just chilled for a bit, and then buyers came in, created this little one. At this point, we'll be waiting to see if price tapped in. We then had this big one, which was an even better signal that price wants to go up for the rest of the hour. And then we tagged in, and that would have been a beautiful trade, and you would have been out of that in about 10 minutes. So pretty nice. So interestingly, we have a 5-minute supply zone here, which I think price is going to come into before we start pushing down. Let's have a look at fair value gaps. This is going back to our original strategy. Okay, so we got this fair value gap here in the supply zone, which I think price is going to come and visit. If it does, and then we get a turnaround, then we can look to enter a second position to take us down through our current drawdown to add us into profit a bit more. If we don't get the correct setup after filling that fair value gap, then likely it could be a losing trade for the morning, but let's see. Right, what else have we got? Let's go to oil. See what's happening here. Just going to get rid of these now that we've looked at them. So we've got that's fourth candle after our after the London range or the London open. So oil hasn't really given us much to go by. Okay, we've got this one here and this one here. So actually we're gonna draw them all back in. So what I've also been working on behind the scenes is a second chance to find a trade set up in the morning. So we've got 3 opportunities. We've got the Asia range breakout, okay, which actually in this situation didn't give us anything on the 30-minute, but it did give us opportunities on the 1-minute. Okay, so that's one thing to think about. If you're not finding too much on the 30, then you can go down to the silver bullet and look for something on the 1-minute. But usually if the 30-minute gives us something, we'll also find something in the 8 AM period, and then usually they'll play out the same way, right? So if you know what the Asia range strategy is, the one that we've created, go check out the video if you don't. But if you find one of those situations, then usually if 30 minutes working out, then there'll be a silver bullet within that move as well. Usually almost always. But what I've been working on recently is looking what happens after the London hour. Okay, so this, I'm going to actually find a better pair because this is a little bit messy. Let's go to gold. Although gold's not great right now because we are consolidation nation right now. Let's go to GJ. Maybe GJ is going to give us a better opportunity. Whatever. So basically what you do is you're going to look for the high and the low on the 30-minute of the candle, okay, and it's going to be the three candles that are created around this London hour. Okay, now sometimes this candle will be way up here out of the box. It doesn't matter, that is still the top. And then what we're going to do is just basically do the same situation as what we do for the Asia range. Okay, like we had this trade this morning where we had a breakout, the next candle broke above and we went for the buy and we obviously won. We're going to do the same thing. So actually yesterday I think on Oz, nice push down now on Aussie here. Where is it? This is the exact same thing we had yesterday. Okay, so you can see that we had that London hour. Alright, we had the highs, we had the lows. Okay, exactly the same sort of situation as we had usually look for on the Asia range as well. Okay, but we had no 30-minute breakouts here. We had lower time frame liquidity grabs, but we had no 30-minute breakouts. So by the time I came to the charts anyway, this had all happened. And so I drew this in. We had a breakout, okay, and then price literally, I think I'd actually come to the charts fortunately after this had already done the breakout and we were pushing down here. So I decided to wait to see if it closed. We closed back inside the zone. We had a push up, close out here, price just melted down after that. So that was a fake out of that area. Now, potentially, if I got here a little bit earlier, I would see this as potential fake out. Breakout. But in this situation, I'd actually wait for it to break out the Asia range before I take a trade on the breakout. Okay, because this is a stronger area. I know I'm going through this a little bit quick, but this is obviously from the Asia range. Are we going to open a live trade together with the community? Yeah, Trader X. So we've already done that. We've actually traded one this morning. We've got one open on Aussie USD. Okay, it's a simple price action setup strategy pushing out of the lows of the Asia range. But if we do find a trade that jumps out of us soon, then I will look to enter another one. But I'm just running through past trades and a current strategy we've been working on to add to the arsenal. We've just gone through today's silver bullet opportunities in the different time zones. So different pairs, which we found quite a lot of opportunities. Unfortunately, I was out and I wasn't able to be on the chart, so I wanted to get on here at 8 AM this morning, but life got in the way. So that's what happens sometimes. But thanks for joining. Hope you're good. I've watched 70% of all your videos from your channel. Love it, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate the love. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. You know, that's what the channel's about. Hopefully it's enjoyable and also educational. So yeah, we got this. I'll just run through this trade. I've got so many lines on the screen now. I'm going to get rid of them because they are confusing. But basically, today we've had breakout of the Asia range. Okay, so we had the high and the low. This is actually the low technically, but on the 30-minute, this is the closure lows, and that's how we take the trade. We actually missed a really nice setup up here, just seen. But we had a breakout. We then closed back inside the zone, but this candle didn't want to break above. If this candle had broken above this candle, then that would be a fake out for me, and I would have taken a buy. But we obviously had big bearish pressure which broke out the low, and that is a price action setup. Now, it's not the best price action setup. I usually like to see a candle that looks something like this one rather than this large body. But sometimes these candles do go from that situation. We've got the hour candle here as well, which is looking like it wants to close outside the zone. We've got fair value gaps below, and also we are at a fairly decent supply zone. Nothing real crazy. But we do have this demand zone down here, which has had a liquidity grab off of 2 days ago's low. So I think the price is probably going to want to visit here to take this out and then potentially push up from there. But let's see. Going down to lower time frames for some micro analysis, we're looking at this 5-minute supply zone here, okay, which is broken structure in this new downward trend. So if price does come back up into this zone, we got a 1-minute fair value gap right here, which if price does take this out, okay, we're still safe with our stop loss above here. If price does take this out, respects these highs, and then give us a 5-minute entry, we can then look for a second entry to sell through our current drawdown and potentially push down to our full TP there. So that's kind of what we're looking at with Aussie USD. But I think it's going to be a little bit of a long one. But what we're also looking for is what's going to happen for the next situation with these setups here. So I'm going to draw them out, and then we can look what's going on. JP. When trading gold on London session, should I trade? Definitely. Well, you can trade what you like, but with the highest volume, you're probably going to be looking at gold against the USD. So XAU against USD. It's going to have the higher volume. I've never actually personally looked at XAU Euro ever. Out of interest, I might even put that up on the chart right now just to have a look at, see how it differs. But I've literally never looked at that pair. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. USD is consolidating a lot. I think it's Labor Day today in the US actually, but I don't. That shouldn't affect us right now. Yo, Codlegs, what's going on? The candles have doing us well today. We had a good win on GJ this morning. Okay, nice easy breakout of the Asia range, And we're currently in Aussie USD, which is in a little bit of drawdown, but I'm pretty confident with the trade, but we'll have to see how that plays out. So yeah, but thanks for joining. Been a while since we spoke to you. Hope you're all good, dude. So yeah, JP, personally my favorite is gold against USD, but it's always personal preference. One day I might do some back testing on gold against the euro, but we shall see. Right, so we're just going to draw in what we're looking for with okay, this is an interesting one. I'm going to go down to lower time frames. You might have missed a nice opportunity here on Euro USD, which doesn't give us bode too well for our trade on Aussie USD, but let's see how that goes, right? So we've got the Asia low here, okay, and you can see that we've had a liquidity grab off the low with this pin bar down, okay, this candle stick here. So if I go down to the 1 minute now, let's see if we found a potential for a trade. Yes, there is. So this liquidity grab here created the push up. Alright, nothing really tradable here because we haven't made a change in character of the trend until... Actually, we may still be in... No, we've missed it. So this is the high... Oh, sorry, yeah, the high, or lower high, which created the move down, which created the liquidity grab. Okay, we had a push up here, and then we came down. This isn't a major change in character of the trend. Okay, it's a change in character, but it's not a major one. We wanted to do the one which created the volume, which created the liquidity grab, which is this one here. When in actual fact, it's this one because we closed above. After that, we had a fair value gap, right? And then price came into that fair value gap. So we could have got tagged in. Maybe we had our stop below this little candle here, because if you know the channel, this is a price action setup. Bullish candle, bearish indecision, big volume bullish candle. So stop goes below there, and then maybe we go for a 1 to 2. And we'll see how this trade plays out. Unfortunately, I feel we've missed this one. Probably, unless we come back down to this area, I don't think I'm going to enter a trade here. But we could potentially look for price to continue. I'm going to type this in, so... test trade, yeah, so you know that if we come back to this, that we're not actually in the trade. We have a border, why not? Let's go crazy. But you can see there, super simple smart money concept there, which potentially we've missed out on. But we'll see how this plays out. I'll just run through it again. I see we've got some new people joining the stream. Basically, we had a liquidity grab off of the bottom of the Asia lows. Okay, the Asia range is the highest here, the lowest here. You can see this big push down. We go down to the 1 minute. We're going to look for the high or the lower high, which created the voluminous push to make the liquidity grab, which is this one here. Price then pushed up. We actually broke above here, creating a change in character across here. Okay, we had that fair value gap there, and then price tapped into that gap and has pushed up so far. We'll go for a 1 to 2 to see what happens, but we'll see how this price goes. Eager Pie, what's going on? Like your name. What lots are you using for 5k account for gold and US30? So that all depends on what you want to risk, right? So I had this question yesterday, someone commented this. If you're risking 1%, then it all depends on your lot size. Sorry, your stop loss size. Okay, so usually with the 5k challenge, I was risking between 0.25 and 1%. Obviously 1% is $50. Now if with the 5k account, if you risk $50 each trade and you lose 5 trades then in the day, then you're out, right? But you do get $600 overall to lose as long as you aren't over risking on the day and losing $250. So if you're risking 1% and your stop loss is, let's say, 2.8, I don't know what the maths is now, but you calculate your lot size to then be able to risk 1% here. If you want a fixed lot size, which is fine, but it doesn't always it's not always best for risk management, then you need to figure out one that suits your trading style where you're not over risking, and 2, make sure it suits your risk to reward plan, right? So you're actually going to be benefiting from the trades, it's not too small or whatever. So you've got to kind of figure out what you want to do from there. I don't really want to say the exact amount that you should be trading, because that's up for you to decide. But yeah, look to risk about 0.5% to 1% per trade, and that's usually sort of like the goal. Some people say 2% as well. If you feel really confident in trade, you could risk 2%. In the past, I've definitely done that. I've risked way more than that, to be honest. But yeah, so this is interesting. We're having a bit of a push down now, so maybe this trade wasn't the best for us to take anyways, which would be ideal. But I just saw that and thought it might be interesting for us to look at. Looking good on our Aussie trade though. Okay, this is the difference between a price action setup, right? This is price action, pure price action, and then this is what we're looking at there was like sort of smart money concept, which is price action. Obviously everything that we look at here is price action, but this is quite literally just looking at what the candles do. There's no real sort of secret sauce here, it's just literally what price does. Now bear with me 2 seconds, I'm going to be back. I've just got a phone call come in. That's my fiance. She's away at the moment, so we'll call her afterwards. So yeah, Aussie USD is pushing down nicely now. We've had that push up, we've flipped bearish, and a good sign is we've actually closed out the bottom of here as well. We've got, how long have we got until the hour candle closes? Still got 6 minutes. If the 6 minute candle, I'm just going to get rid of these boxes for the moment because they do get a little bit, I don't like too much on my charts, and if there is too much on my charts, it's really annoying. So our candle's pushing out now. If we do get a closure outside the low here, okay, this is the 30-minute low and the hour closure low, then that would be a nice sign that potentially we want to continue down. The next candle may push up a little bit, and then if we break out the low, that could also be a second entry. I probably won't take it, but that could be a second entry down there. I see we're at 4 likes, guys. If you want to like the stream, it really helps it. I really would have really appreciate it if you're enjoying the stream, that is. So yeah, let's go back to that oil, Euro USD. Euro USD would have nearly stopped us out, not quite yet. But that is obviously just a test. We didn't take that trade. We are live in the Aussie USD trade though. Okay. Another thing that could happen right now is see this candle's closing, could in 5 minutes close in like an indecision situation, bullish, and then we could get the same setup as we had up here, okay, where we had a bearish candle, bullish indecision candle which respected the high, the next one respected the high, broke out the low, and then that would have been a push down. That would have been a really nice trade this morning, and although this wasn't a breakout or a fake out or whatever, I would have taken this if I had seen it, because these just happen all the time. In fact, we have one right here. This trade was actually taken on the 45-minute on a similar situation to the one we've taken on the 30-minute. If you have a look here, it's basically identical, just going the other way. Okay, so we got that bullish candle, bearish indecision after breaking out some interesting levels, and then price pushed up. If we go to the 30-minute, this is basically identical, just going the other way. So they don't always work out, because as trading is, nothing ever is 100%, but it's trying to find high probability setups which will help us out. Also, we could potentially be looking now for setups after I got to put these back on. Here and here. So we'll be looking to see what price does if we break out of these highs or lows as well. Gold could be interesting here. We've got a potential for a price action setup. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that silver bullet potential we had this morning. We didn't take this trade, by the way. We ran through this earlier in the stream to show what situations we potentially missed. We missed 2 today on gold for the silver bullet. But if we go to the price action's looking good. I'm gonna go to the higher time frames real quick. I bet if we go to the 8 hour, we've got a break below. It's not looking that good. Right, so if we go to the 30-minute here, we have got potential for this price action setup again. Okay, big volume move, probably the largest bullish volume move of the day. We've had this one, but this one is bigger, closing larger. Okay, we've had a bit of a liquidity grab off the bottom of this big move here. We then had a bearish indecision candle. This candle has 2 minutes to break above this high, which might not happen. But what we could get is a closure above that white line. Now, if we get a closure above that white line, and then the next candle, the 10:30 candle, pushes and breaks above the high, then we could look for a buy to take out this liquidity and then break out the high of the Asia range and potentially continue up. Now, if we go to the daily, let's have a look at the daily. The daily is looking very bullish, right? We've had this huge move up. This candle, I reckon we're going to be in quite a consolidating day today for gold, but this candle could push up and break out the high, which I think it's probably going to do. So we can look for opportunities there. Let's look at GJ. GJ is probably going to close inside the zone, which doesn't really leave us with much to do, to be honest. Gold, as we just looked at. Oil's probably going to close back inside the zone. So then what I'd be looking for next for oil is probably a closure outside the top here on the next candle potentially. Or what could be happening right now is we've had a reaction off of this supply zone. Let's go to the 5-minute, because what we have got here is potential for this supply zone then becoming reaction and continuing down. So let's go to the 1-minute, see where the fair value gaps finish there. I'm going to get rid of some of this crap. 5-minute, looking at some of this here. So if we take out this fair value gap, then we could look for sales off here for a low risk entry, for price to have its reaction off of this oil supply, which is broken structure down here, and then this could initiate the new this is new lower low, new lower high, new lower low. This could be the new lower high, okay, which hasn't broken and closed above this high, and then price could potentially come down and look to make a new lower low on the 1-hour chart. So potentials all around, really. See, oil's pushing up a little bit now. We've got 4 seconds, 3 seconds left to close, and the new candle has opened. Okay, what we've got going on here. Okay, so that Euro USD trade has pushed back up into profit. Now, is the SMC gonna outplay the price action today? It's looking like it could do, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so gold closed outside the high here. Okay, so gold is probably my favored setup to look for a trade next. Although we've been consolidating, okay, we consolidated through the Asia range here. Just going to look for the low. The low is here. We actually have already had a setup, to be honest, because we've had the low here. We then had a fake out, a closure back in, and a break above the high. So this is a great opportunity here. So this is what I'm going to watch for the next few minutes. Basically, we could have already taken a trade here with my setup. Okay, let's run through it. Let's get rid of that. So we've got the Asia highs here for the 30-minute closures. We've also got the Asia lows here for the 30-minute closures. We then had a close outside the zone, but we've closed back inside the Asia range, okay, and then broken out above. Now, if we had entered this, our stop would be looking a little something like this. Okay, this would be our trade that we would have potentially been in already, but we're going to... we didn't do that. So now what we're looking for is this candle, which has a whole 30 minutes to go, to flip up bullish, break out the high, and our stop's going to look something a little like this. Okay, which is actually about the same target as we would have already had. So we'll wait for this. I'm going to set a sell stop, sorry, a buy stop at the top there. Why is it? Don't want it to do that. There we go. Put it there. Alright, and we'll set an alert. Like so. Now this candle's pushing down, but remember we've still got 26 minutes of life in this candle. And I like for price to push down and then potentially push up. So we'll just have to see what happens. This Aussie trade is going okay at the moment because we've respected the high still, and if this volume comes in and breaks out the low, then this would be a price action setup for me, and that would look something like that, which actually takes us down to our original what's it called, profit target. Anyway, so let's see. That Euro USD trade is going to definitely take our profit target out. There we go. It's a shame that we missed that. We did catch it halfway through. Could we have entered down here? Maybe, but I didn't really like it. It's better to enter when you're, you know, at the beginning of the trade. But that was a pretty simple liquidity grab, break a structure, chalk trade there. It's a shame we missed that. Stop loss was below that price action setup indecision candle, which wouldn't have stopped us out, and price is pushed up there. But is what it is. I know we didn't take the trade, but our analysis was correct, and that's a win, right? The fact that we were able to spot that and then it played out is mucho goodo. Okay, gold. That 30-minute candle now is looking like it wants to flip bullish. And if it does, we're going to get triggered into the trade here. I've got my buy stop just above this candle here. Just going to make sure I've got everything in the right place, actually. Because I was chatting and didn't actually set it. Where is gold? 0.81. Okay, stop 3572. I won't put a TP in because if we do, for whatever reason, shoot up, then whatever, but I'll probably put the TP in a bit closer to the time. Okay, so if this candle breaks above this high, then I might just close this trade out, because that sometimes means that price doesn't want to be down there, right? So we've had that 1 hour candle, which is closed, but there's lots of wicks going on here, and it's not the nicest looking setup, although this does look nice. 4 hour looks good. Now I'll just leave this trade regardless of its result. I'm not too fussed if we do lose this trade. We had 2 great trades on Aussie yesterday, We had 2 great trades on oil. We had 1 great trade this morning on GJ and a great trade yesterday on GJ. So if we do lose this trade, I'm not too fussed. We could always still win the trade. So let's see how it goes. I'm just looking to see if I'm like missing anything, but I don't think I am. And of course we have this opportunity on gold, which hopefully we can get triggered into and take that. Anyone in the trade currently? I haven't seen anyone put anything in the Discord yet this morning of their trades. I saw some couple nice trades yesterday from a couple of you guys. Okay, gold is flipping bullish. It's a good sign. Okay, you can see the price is pushed down here. We've still got 22 minutes of this candle left. It's a good sign that price has come down here and is being rejected in this early part of the candle. Doesn't mean for certain that we're going to get triggered in. We could just hover around here and then the next candle could just go down here. But our setup. Ooh. We're going to follow the rules, and the rules are that we take a buy stop here. I may even enter this manually. Okay, I'm just going to see if we got triggered. Not quite yet. We haven't quite got triggered yet. But the entry's there, okay? We broke above the high. Alright, so that is a, because the buy stop, usually I don't do buy stop, but I was going to be, because I'm streaming, sometimes I miss these things. So once we if we go above that that line there, we'll be triggered into the trade. Even though we're having a pullback now, the fact that we've respected the low and we're breaking out the high is a great sign. So we'll see how it goes. Let's look at oil. Oil's just had a reaction off of that fair value gap. We haven't filled it yet. I'd like to see the gap get filled completely before we can look for potential entries there. Aussie's pushing up, hovering around a little bit. We have broken out the high here, which is a bad sign for the price action setup for pushing out the low. But we'll just stick in this trade. And we'll see how that goes. What else have we got? Yeah, so sad about this one. It's a really nice trade. I wish we'd caught this. But that's what happens sometimes. You miss them out. But there we go. All right, so NAS, which we haven't looked at all day, has just given us a setup. And actually, this is a good sign for the Oz, because if NAS goes down, usually Oz goes down. I don't know why, but they do. But what we have here is a price action setup, which we've missed. But let's just go through it real quick. Okay. Got that bullish indecision candle. Sorry, that bearish candle, bullish indecision candle. I respected a high, break out the low, and if we went for a 1-to-1, we'd pretty much nearly be there now. Very close. Usually on these setups, I do like to go for a 1-to-2 because they do usually have some nice extensions. So let's again, another test trade that we've unfortunately missed. Similar setup on S&P. I'm not going to take it because we are already in 2 trades, so yeah. Well, we're not in 2 trades. We're potentially going to be in 2 trades. I feel that we will get triggered into this. So yeah, basically, if after these trades, there's nothing for me to do now until 3 o'clock UK time. Okay, I'm gonna let the Aussie trade play out. If we get triggered into the gold trade, then that would be great, and we'll see how that plays out. But after this point, really, there's not too much for me to trade, unless price action setups show themselves throughout the day, which I don't know if they will. It's currently 10:30, so I'll probably be streaming for another half an hour or so. We'll see how these play out, and then yeah, we're not quite in there yet. Kind of happy about that, obviously, because we have been. I've given myself quite a short stop loss there. I might just pull this down just a touch. Okay, what did we just get? That was an alert on GU. Okay, I know what that was. So I'm just going to change that to 570. Oh, that's literally next to nothing, but just gives us a little bit of padding in case we do come down for equal lows. Pushing back up. Okay, GU. If we break out at the high here and close above here in 17 minutes, we can then look for buys. Obviously, GU is bullish currently overall, with a new lower low, and then we've had a change of character here with a new higher low, new higher high. So bullish at the moment, and that doesn't bode too well for our Aussie trade. But the fact that the NAS is pushing down is a good sign for us. So let's see, MJ 10 pip running on EU, lovely. Yeah, it's a shame we missed this earlier. I don't know if you were here, but we had a beautiful setup which we spotted when we were actually at this point. That's why it says test trade here. But we had a liquidity grab of the Asia lows, then went to the lower time frame, found the 1 minute area which created the push down, which gave us a liquidity grab. We then broke above that with a change of character of the trend. We had a fair value gap there. That was the entry, and price pushed up and is absolutely killing it, which is a shame that we missed it. But as I said earlier, it is fine because the analysis was correct, and that's all good. So yeah, we are in a trade in Aussie USD. We had a price action set up here, which is similar to what we had yesterday over here. Okay, basically identical bullish move and decision. I keep saying this over and over, but broke out the high, and that was beautiful. We're looking for a bearish version, but it's not looking too favorable today, unless we do come up to this 5 minute supply zone, which broke structure. Okay. Broke some structure here, break of structure. We then had, just put that in the middle, we then have a 1 minute fair value gap here, okay, which is in that supply zone, which is a lovely supply zone. And then if price comes up, takes out that gap, and then gives us a 5 minute entry or a 5 minute break of a candle low from the entry, then we can look to enter a second position. Or if a 30 minute candle closes inside the zone and then breaks above the high, then I may just eliminate the trade, because that is a setup on a different thing. We are also looking for a trade on gold here. We have a buy stop, which we haven't quite been triggered into yet. Okay, I think we could do. Price clearly has bullish, bulls in this candle. They are pushing price up a lot. It's a bit of a war at the moment, but we've still got half the candle's length left. So let's see. But hopefully we can come out on top today. Oh, is that a trigger? Not yet. We haven't. That was still equal highs. Oil has filled that gap. I'm not looking to take a trade on oil, to be honest. Too much going on. I don't want to be managing another trade. But we have filled this gap. If we do get a clean looking entry, maybe, but I'm just gonna, we'll come back to this. I'll put an alert below there. Okay, we've been triggered into the Aussie, to the gold trade completely now. You can see that on my phone. So buy stop initiated. I'll run through the trade for those who are just joining us and why we've just been triggered into this. Aussie USD has also just gone up to here. Right, we're getting some volume now. I think we're going to get stopped out on the Aussie trade. Let's just have a look. I'm going to put an alert down here, and I'll put an alert up here. If we get stopped out, then we get stopped out on that one. That's not a big deal. I think we probably will, considering the other pairs. EU, obviously, and GU. GU's absolutely rocketing. But we're in some good profit on gold currently, and we can look for price to continue here. So the reason why I've taken this is basically very simple. Got a Asia range low here, fake out, a closure back inside the zone. Okay, could have entered this trade already with a break of this candle's high of our stop below the low here. As you can see, we've already been in some profit already. But we then had the London hour kill zone. Okay, and we had the low here and the high here. We actually had a closure outside the high. This candle respected the low and has broken out the high, and that was what triggered us into the trade to continue that bullish momentum potentially today. Obviously, we've been in consolidation, but we clearly don't want to be outside the Asia range here because we had a huge amount of bullish pressure and buyers coming in, closing us back inside the zone. So it's likely we're going to want to retest here and even take out the liquidity above these equal highs to the left here. So that's the trade. Haven't been stopped yet on the Aussie USD trade, although I'm not very favorable for this. I think we're going to get pinged out of that in a second. Let's have a look at some oil. Now, oil could potentially give us a setup here because we're getting rejection away. If the 5-minute candle closes and then a candle breaks the candle's low, then we could look for a sell. It is a nice looking supply zone because we've got obviously huge selling pressure. We then got zigzagging pressure, zigzagging move up. Okay, it's not a sudden ping up into there. It's a nice gradual move up over the last sort of hour or so, and then price could potentially look to continue down from there. So let's see. But we're in the gold trade here, which is looking good. If we do get stopped out of Aussie USD, as I say, I'm not too worried today. We've been going for a lot of one-to-ones recently. Normally I do bring my stop loss down to a better risk to reward, but as I said at the beginning of the stream, I've just gone back to basics for a little bit, just because August hasn't been the best month. It hasn't been horrendous, but it hasn't been the best month. But we had 2 great trades on Aussie yesterday, 2 great trades on oil yesterday. We had a good trade this morning on GJ, and another great one yesterday on GJ, basically similar setup. And actually we've just missed one on GJ on 30-minute. We just missed that. It's beauty. Price action setup right there. But there we go. Here's what it is. So if we do lose the Aussie trade and we gain back, pretty much we'll gain back maybe a little bit more on the gold trade if it does play out. But let's see. That 10 pips running on EU must be running for UMJ if you're still here. That thing's pushed up. We're now having a reaction off the top here. I'm surprised we haven't been stopped out of the Aussie trade yet. I mean, that thing is, that is inevitable. Surely. Yeah. We must have got stopped out by spreads. Yes, we did. Yeah. So unfortunately, we're out of that trade. If we do turn around now, I'm going to be devastated. I think we probably will. Maybe we could. Nah, we would have got stopped out regardless. It is what it is. But, do you know what the great thing is? Now, we've got 9 minutes until we can look for a fake out. Because if this thing closes back inside the zone, and then the next candle breaks above the high, it's likely price is going to want to come out to the top of the range. A bit like what Euro USD and GBP's doing. So, we're not all out. Gold's definitely liking its moves, which is good. Don't know if anyone's decided to take the gold trade as well, but so far so good. All we're going to look for now is price to break out at the Asia range highs on the 30-minute, take out this liquidity here and take out this equal high liquidity here, and we'll be on a winner there. So let's see. So yeah, now my bias has changed. Obviously we stopped out of that Aussie trade, which is fine. It is what it is. Okay, as I said, we've had a good week so far. What we're going to do is wait for this closure. If this closure closes inside the zone, which I think is probably 99% 95% certain it will. We could then look for a fake out opportunity, which if we do close, say let's say we close here, it's going to look something like this because we're closing back inside the range. Clearly price has no wanting to be outside this range. We're closing back inside, and these three pairs move very similar. If you look at the charts, they all look very similar. Okay, so it's likely that Aussie is just running a little bit behind. We're going to close back inside the zone and price is going to push up. Okay, so we're going to wait to see what happens there in 8 minutes time. We got this gold trade running. Oh, gold is nearly at our first TP. We've broken out of the zone here, so that is sick. For those who are just joining, I know some of you have already heard this, but I'll just run through the reason why we've taken this trade. It's very simple. Some of you might be like, oh my god, consolidation, but we've got price action to give us everything we need to know. Basically, we had the Asia range. Okay, this is a strategy that we've created on the channel. And we've got our highs here, we've got the lows here. Okay, they finished at 630. We then had a closure outside the zone, but then bulls came in and closed us back inside the zone very strongly. Okay, we actually missed our first entry, which would have been the break of this candle's high here. Okay, after the fake out. We then had these three candles, which is the London kill zone, which you can look for the silver bullet inside if you wish. But I've been working on a strategy which basically just follows that zone, and how I can also find opportunities when price reacts either from the high or the low. We had a break and close outside the low, outside the high. This candle, then we set a buy stop above this candle. This candle pushed down, flipped bullish, broke out the high, and volumes coming in, taking us outside the top of the Asia range. Now, hopefully, price can now continue, and that would be fantastic. Okay. So yeah, similar thing. We had a very simple Asia range on GJ this morning. Asia low, Asia high. Broken outside the high, and then I just waited for price to break the high. Stop loss below the previous candle low. Went for a 1-to-1, and that was a beautiful trade, which took about an hour this morning, less than. So there we go. So yeah, we're gonna see how this gold trade goes. I'm gonna put an alert here in case we're elsewhere, and we'll see what happens. Let's look at oil. Oil's got potential for a sell-off here. Quite a high potential, to be honest. We could take a very low-risk trade here, to be honest, and look something like this, you know. And if we did get a liquidity grab, we could do something like that for a 1-to-9. But I'm going to wait to see if we get a 5-minute entry. Basically, with the idea behind this trade, if we do take it, it's not the one I'm looking at the most because of this price action on the hour, to be honest. But we got a 1-hour supply zone to the left here, okay, which is actually a hour new lower high. I always get these things mixed up. Price pushed down, breaking structure. Okay, we then had a push up reaction off of this sort of supply zone here. It's not the best supply zone, but it is a supply zone. We have supplied the market, breaking structure. Price is then pushed up into the zone, and then on the 5-minute, we've had a change of character in the trend with this big displacement down. Okay, so this 5-minute trend, which is going up, which we took advantage of yesterday, has changed the breaking character of the trend. But right now we are breaking out the high of the Asia range, and I'm probably not going to take a trade on this. This is way too bullish for me, and to be honest, we could be looking to take a buy here if this candle closes above this range like that. So yeah, oil going to stay away from for the moment. Gold is about to hit first TP. I might just close out completely here, or I might take 80% and leave a runner. I haven't got a stop set here. Okay, I haven't set anything, but let's see. GJ, we missed this really nice setup here. Okay, this is a price action setup. If you're new to the channel, you won't know what that is, but if you know the channel, you know that this is a shame that we missed this. It's basically a 3-candle setup on any time frame. A good example of one is right here on the left here. Okay, bearish move, bullish indecision candle. The next candle respects the high of the candle, breaks out the low, and volume comes in and pushes down. You'll find examples of these everywhere. There's one here. Okay, now it looks like this one wouldn't have worked out, but it would have. Bearish candle, bullish indecision. This one's even better because we respected the previous candle's high there. Okay, this one respected this high, flipped bullish, bearish, broke out the low. If you went for a 1-to-1 on this one, stop above the middle candle, you'd have smashed down there, and that would have been a real easy trade last night, just before 10 o'clock, if you want to take that. But I don't know why you would, because that's a crazy time to trade. But yeah. So there we go. Okay, so gold's actually nearly pushed up there to our full TP. If we get back up there again, I'm going to take 80% of the trade out, and I'm going to leave a runner today. There we go. Look at that. That is lovely. Okay, so trade. I'm going to take 80% off of the top. Done. Okay, we got that out a little bit lower, really, but that's fine. So that is our first TP there. And now my stop loss is at break even. And we'll just let this thing run for the rest of the day and see what we can get. Let's have a look to the left and see what we've got. We've got plenty of stuff for us to come and visit. Okay. And actually, what's also interesting is that we are potentially about to break out the high of this daily candle, which is going to be fantastic, and price can push up to daily resistance up here if it wants. Yeah, so there we go. Successful trade on gold there. We've had one losing trade on Aussie USD, but we have 2 minutes to wait before we're going to look for another entry on that. Potentially these two candles here, these two pairs are giving me definite or good confidence to take this trade. Basically what we're looking for now is price to close in this side of the zone. If the next candle breaks above the high here, then I'll take a buy on this pair. Oil I think is probably pushed through. Oh, equal highs. Interesting. Now in this situation we could take what would we have to do here? We'd have to wait for price to break below this zone, create a fair value gap, come back into the zone, and then take a trade from there. Or we could wait for a 5-minute entry, which would be basically when this candle breaks below that low anyway. So we'll put an alert, we'll keep an eye on this, but nothing, not too fussed about that, because we just had this fantastic trade on gold. And look at that runner now, look. We're already in some more profit there. There we go. Stoked on that trade. Very stoked on that trade. How long have we got left? We've got 29 seconds, and then we can potentially look for our entry on Aussie USD here. So what I'll probably do is when price gets to about here, what I'll do then is I'll bring my current break-even stop of the runner, if price gets up here that is, to my first TP, locking in this profit. Okay, so if you're new to the stream right now, we're taking this trade. I won't run through it again. I might run through it again in a minute, but it was a beautiful trade. Hit our first TP. Okay, 80% is now taken. Stop loss is a break even. 20% of the trade is still running, and I'm going to let this run for however long. But when we get up to around this point here, which would have been about a 1 to 2, I'm going to bring my stop loss, which is a break even, up to that TP1, locking in that runner 20%, and then I'll do the same up and up until we either get stopped out or it goes forever. I've never really had one that goes forever, but I've had ones that go for a fairly long time. And as I said, we have got daily resistance up ahead. We've just broken out of the daily yesterday's daily candle after flipping bullish, and we basically took advantage of that volume, which has done so, and we've come up to this point here. So yeah, absolutely fantastic morning. And we've now got our new candle to try and get redemption on the Oz trade, which we unfortunately didn't. We lost this morning an Oz trade, but yesterday it treated us well, gave us 2 beauties. Oil gave us 2 beauties yesterday. GJ gave us a beauty this morning and yesterday, and gold has also treated us well this morning as well. So I'm going to set an alert there, and we're going to watch to see if this candle, which is looking good already because we've already pushed down bearish, if we can flip up bullish now. We're going to break out this high, and then our trade's going to look a little something like this. Going for a 1-to-1, which is going to take us just outside the top of the zone there. Okay, and actually we've already had a breakout of the Asia range on the 30-minute on Euro USD, and this would actually be a trade as well if this candle pushes and breaks above here. But I'm going to take the Aussie trade because I feel that Aussie is lagging behind just a little bit of the situation. So let's see. But a good morning. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Go check out the videos on the channel. The strategy that we used for this trade, or basically this strategy here, actually used it on a slightly different timing area, but it's essentially the same thing, is on the channel. It's called My Simple Asia Range Trading Strategy. I think it's called that. So yeah, that's, go check that out. Go check out the other videos if you like. Also appreciate all you guys, all the normal names I see that come in here for the support. You guys are rad, and it's so sick to see you guys coming back. Okay, so not much to do now, but wait and see what happens. Oh, now, yeah, I definitely think we need to wait for Oil's looking pang, I'm not gonna lie. It's actually looking great now. See, now oil's actually oh, what's that? That's oil. Okay, so oil, actually we could have entered here. I hesitated there a bit. We could have entered here for like a ridiculously low risk trade, but we can still find an entry. Okay, so we're actually going to be looking for oil now because we've got a mini fair value gap up here, but we're not going to potentially look for that one. What we've done is we've got a changing character of this 1 minute trend now, right? You can see that we've got higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then this isn't a breakage character and trend here. Higher low here, new higher high, and now we've just broken out this strong move here. So what we've got, I know we've got loads of things here, so let's get rid of a few. We've got a fair value gap right here. Now we've got 7 seconds. Okay, that's been filled out. Okay, so there's no fair value gap. Is there a fair value gap there? No, that just got filled out. So the fair value gap now is up here. I don't really have one. So yeah, if that gap hadn't been filled, we could have potentially looked for a sell off that point. Now it's been filled through this candle here. It's not one that I want to enter. Nice price action setup here though. But we do have one up here, which is quite high, but we could look for price to potentially come and take that out. So we'll put an alert here, and we'll also keep an eye out in case any other fair value gaps get made. If we can definitely take out this 3 minute low and then look for a 3 minute fair value gap, that would also be quite nice. So we'll put this line here, set an alert and see what happens. Wonderful trade, man. Just found out your channel and you're smashing it. Thank you, MJ. Appreciate that. That's really nice to hear. Thank you very much. Hopefully we can find another one before the stream is out. Let's have a look at this though. What's this line to the left? This is a very, very past low. So we're not too worried about that. Although we are having a reaction off of it. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Well, thank you for joining. Okay, so the Aussie trade's still in play. I haven't set a buy stop on this one. I'm going to probably enter this one manually. If we get it, that is. Still got 22 minutes. We've got a similar situation that's happening that we had on the gold trade, where we had an early push down on this candle, early into the trade, early into the candle, and then that thing flipped bullish and broke out the high. So that's what we're looking for here. We've had a push down. And actually, if we go to the lower time frames, which I was looking at a second ago, we've actually just tagged into this fair value gap here. All right. And now having a reaction off there. So that's good to see. There's actually not really any other. There's one down here. And there is one down here. But we've tagged into that one and pushed up. Tagged into this one. Now we're pushing up. So if we break out the high, then we can look for the buy. If we don't break out the high, then there's no trade. So we just have to be patient and wait and see. Just got an entry potentially on euro here. I'm not going to take it, but this candle's just retested the Asia highs, pushed up, flipped bearish, and broken out the high here. And what's GU's doing? GU's kind of doing what similar to AU is doing. But AU's looking favorable because we have a fake out closure back inside the zone, and then we can look for price to push up. Maybe even just take profit at the highs here instead of going all the way just outside the zone there. Might just take 10 pips on this one if we get triggered, that is. Let's go back to oil, see what that's ended up doing. Oil's now pushing up. Okay, although we've broken this minor structure, we have got this major structure here, or more major structure, because we've got a big move from that point. But let's see. I'm not overly fussed about oil, to be honest. I'm more interested in Aussie USD. What we got there? What was that alert? Oh, that was oil coming back up, right? Now we could go crazy here and take an entry off here with like the most minuscule stop ever of, let's say, 40 pips, and then target down here for a crazy 13.67 risk to reward ratio. We could do it. Because this is a change of character on the 1 minute trend, right? Right here. We've had displacement, which is broken structure, with a fair value gap. Wrong one. I hate it when these things don't go straight. Yeah, straight-ish. So we'll set some alerts. Anyway, what are you guys up to today? Anyone up to anything fun? What day is it today? It's Wednesday. Where are you guys from as well? I'd like to find out where you guys are from in the world, those who are watching. I am currently in the centre of London, right in the middle of it. Where's everyone else from? Germany. Hey, A-Cut. Thanks for joining. Been lurking. Appreciate you. I've never been to Germany. Oh no, wrong. I have been to Germany, but it was a like an hour that I was there for a layover before I went on to somewhere else, which I can't remember where it was. That was years ago. But I really want to go to Berlin. I'd like to go to Berlin for sure. And the Nürburgring. I definitely, at some point in the near couple of years, going to take a road trip to the Nürburgring. And but I want to plan it for when I get a new car. It's not on the horizon yet. I'm going to keep the one I've got for a while, but when I get a new car, I'm going to take it to the Nürburgring, which I think will be a fun trip to do. Have you ever been? Puerto Rico! Hey, Rafael. Awesome. I've never been to Puerto Rico. Would love to go. Heard great things. But it's pretty warm. It's actually not been too bad. Summer's not been too bad here. I think that's oil. Summer's not been too bad here in the UK. We've had worse summers, but we've also had better summers. Now, do we take this trade? Do we do it for the lols? Or do we not? That is the question. It's low risk. I could probably risk, I don't know, maybe 0.10% on this trade for a potential gain of like 1.3%, or we could risk 0.2%. I might get this set up. It's looking pretty good, to be honest. Let's just do it. If we get tagged into that fair value gap, I'll take the trade, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so that trade from earlier, just wanted to point out, we were talking about this test trade on the NAS. Okay, this price action setup here. We missed this, unfortunately, but we could have absolutely, we could have taken this, and if we went for a 1-to-1, we would have already smashed that out just a second ago. But we'll go for 1-to-2, see how this plays out. I think we could potentially play out. Now, the one thing that does... Now, NAS and Aussie USD in the past have found they seem to be a little bit correlated, although they don't look very similar on their charts. If one's going up, the other one's usually going up. The other one's going down, the other one's usually going down. At the moment, this is kind of what's happening. If you ever look, we had a push up here, we had a push up here. We're actually having a push down now, we're having a push down now. Now, they're not very correlated in the sense of what they look like, but over the years, I have noticed that it's a weird one. Philippines, hey, welcome from the Philippines. I had a friend who just moved out there, actually. They're enjoying themselves. Welcome to the stream, TN. Haven't seen you in fact, the last 4 guys I haven't seen you in the stream before, so thank you for joining us. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm going to be trying to do quite a few more streams than this going forward. Okay, we got tagged in. I don't like the look of it, because if this candle doesn't break this candle's low, we've got a price action setup, right? You see this little bluey here? If the candle, if it breaks the low here, I'll take it. If it doesn't, we've got equal lows at the moment, then this is likely going to push up. 34 seconds left, so I'm going to be patient and wait to see what this candle does. If it breaks the low, okay, in. Stop loss 82087. I'm going to risk it for the stream. All right. Why not? It's a nice setup, and I'll run through the reason why it looks pretty good. We actually got in about there as we broke out. It was probably about there, I guess. So yeah, low risk trade, potential high reward. We can target liquidity down here. So I'll run through the reason why I was liking this in the first place. Is the 1 hour is where we started. So the 1 hour supply zone with major structure breaking. Okay, so overall got a new lower low, new lower high, new lower low, new lower high potential. Okay. Then if we go to the other time frames, we can see that we had this big push down. So if we go to the 5 minute, we've had a we're probably gonna get stopped out, but whatever. Okay, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, 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 all the way up until we got this big push down after at 9 o'clock from London. Okay, which created a supply zone, which broke structure and took out all the liquidity of the Asia range, which isn't ideal. We could have potentially got a buy back inside the zone. I actually just need to make sure keeping an eye on this, because we could get a trade on this in a minute. Prices then pushed out, and then we had a lower time frame change of character on the 1 minute, just filled a fair value gap, and then prices pushing up. Now I think we're probably going to get stopped out here. I'm really not worried about it, risking next to nothing, and yeah. But for the stream, thought we'd give it a go. Just having a look at what we've got. If we do break out the top of here, then we could just look for buys anyway, and we can follow our normal strategy and potentially win that back and more. So I'm not too fussed about it. Okay, because if this candle, I know this looks real messy right now, but if this, I'm going to get rid of this here. If you see, we've had a closure outside the top of this zone. This is exactly the same setup as we had on that gold trade. Okay, we had a closure outside the top of this zone here. If this candle flips up bullish, which it's probably going to do, and break out the high, then we can look for a buy, which is going to look something a little bit like this. Okay, but I'm going to go for, I'll only buy if we get stopped out of the other trade. So it'll look something like that. We'll go for a 1-to-1. And then if we zoom out, let's go to the daily, see what that's looking like. We've got a daily wick fill up here. Okay, so we've got liquidity, daily liquidity above here, which we're likely going to take. You can see bullish moves. Well, we've definitely been bullish the last few days. So, yeah. Never marry a direction. Always look to see what price is telling you what to do, right? Never marry a trade. Because usually, if you're getting stopped out, then price is likely to go the other way. Not always, but... So yeah, that would be what we do if we get stopped out. Which I really do think we will. I don't think this is going to play out, but I've been surprised in the past. You know, analysis is set up. Okay, we got good analysis for sure. Okay, the analysis is good, and we're actually in a bit of profit there. Okay, but usually, sometimes these lower risk trades like this, they are low risk, and they could have high reward, but usually because they're so low risk, they don't always play out. But let's see. Hey, we're at 10 likes on the stream. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you. That really helps us out. Really helps the stream get pushed both while we're live and afterwards. So thank you very much. So Aussie, which is our next sort of port of call, is we've got about 10 minutes left on this candle, and what we've just done here is we're just retesting this resistance here, right? We've just retested that. So what we could get here is a 15-minute price action setup. This would be if this candle respects this blue's low, okay, and then breaks out the high, then that would trigger us into the trade anyway, because that would be a 30-minute candle flip and break at the 30-minute, but also it will be a 15-minute break of the high here, and then that will allow price to push up. So yeah, let's see. So I'm going to set some alerts here, so if we're not watching, we can see when we get probably stopped out of this trade. Yeah, so this is a good sign for us, though. Okay, I like the fact that NAS is pushing up. Okay, like I said to you earlier, for whatever reason, I don't know why. There might be a really simple reason, but I've never really looked into it. I should probably look into it. But NAS and Aussie usually are correlated but they're not correlated in the way that they look usually by, you know, overall structure. They're just usually correlated in the direction that they're traveling. Okay, now the fact that NAS is now pushing up does actually fill me with a little bit of confidence for the Aussie trade, although it doesn't really look like it at the moment. Just through, literally, I've spent probably, I worked it out with my fiance, probably over the last 8 years, like 12,000 hours looking at these charts. Right, what's that? That's probably oil on the way to stopping us out. Okay, that is oil stopping us out. Okay, so now we can take a buy. You see how the volume comes in there? I kind of missed that. I was a little bit distracted. So if we pull back to the entry, I'll enter. If not, then we'll just have to let this one run. I don't really want to enter, because normally I would enter down just as the break, but we'd already had a late entry anyway, potentially because of it's a shame. Yeah, if we pull back, I'll buy, but a little bit overextended for me at the moment, so that's a shame. Missed that. But yeah, probably about 12,000. Oh, come on. Nope. Nope. Said it though, didn't I? Said it. It's going to break out the top, and then price pushes up. And there you go. Volume's coming in. We've missed this one, unfortunately. Unless we do pull back in this candle, we could buy again, because we've got 6 minutes. But I don't really want to buy now. We can always go down to lower time frames to see if we get an entry later on. In fact, we've got a 5-minute price action set up here as well. Oh, that's actually come back, isn't it? Ah! Okay. I'm going to take it from there. Right, so stop can go below there. 1 to 1. And away we go. Okay, so we did get in the trade. Hopefully we can now take back that little bit of loss. Yo, Clar, what's going on? Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Aussie trade, still just chilling at the moment. What do you think of GJ? Hold on a second, I'm getting some alerts. I'll just check what those alerts are. That is oil again. Oil's pulling back a little bit, so that's fine. That's cool. I will have a look for you in 2 seconds, sir. Yeah, so let's see. With oil, what I might even do is just look to make back that loss, maybe a little bit more, and then we can call it quits there. So maybe if we do push up above this point, we may just take 80% of the profit out, take back that little bit of loss, and leave the runner. Okay, gold's pushing up. I'm just going to look at everything before I go GJ. GJ. Now GJ has some interesting price action ahead. Okay, got a supply zone. This was news. This was last Wednesday. I can't remember what news it was, but this created a large push down. Also gaps in the market which have now been filled. Got a supply zone here. Price is pushing up. We've recently broken out of the Asia range this morning. We caught a nice trade here. We've also broken out of the London kill zone range with a nice bullish move. Now if we go to lower time frames, what have we got? We've got a demand zone here. Okay. Overall, my bias is bullish on GJ for sure. But right now, I couldn't tell you anything because there's nothing for me to trade right now. I'm from Italy. Love your videos. Appreciate you, Clark. Thank you very much. Welcome from Italy. I really do appreciate that. And all the love you guys have been saying today means a lot. So, oil's playing around break even. This is where we now lose this one. It'll be funny, but it is what it is. Okay, that current gold trade, which we took earlier, the runner is now pushing up. As I said, once we get up to this point, which I have an alert set, I'll bring my stop loss to TP1, and then we'll lock in that runner's profit. Okay. Oil's pushing into profit a little bit now, which is cool. And we're still waiting for Aussie to do its thing. Now, we've got 3 minutes and 42 seconds left on this candle. This candle could create something that's like this. Okay, and if that is the case, then we can look for a 15-minute buying opportunity. but we'll have to wait and see. Euro is pushing up. So yeah, let's see. Oil's in some profit now. Okay. Patience is the game. Also, guys, you may see down in the bottom left there, we've got some merch rolling around. The link is in the description if you want to go check that out at the Traders Club. We've got all sorts of stuff over there. So there's another way to support the channel. And we've got all sorts of t-shirts and hoodies and goodness, and even a mouse pad, which I'm still waiting for mine to come through. That should be coming through next week. And on that it has Patience is the game, which this t-shirt has on the back. Because at the end of the day, as you've seen today, patience is the game, right? So go check that out if you want. But all good. So yeah, so right, so in the chat, put your favorite pair that you found that you like to trade. What's your favorite pair? I guess Klar is GJ, maybe, I don't know. Okay, so just a quick one for those who are wondering what this is. This is a test trade, which we actually missed out on. But basically, just a simple price action setup here, a price pushing down. Again, a price action setup. I haven't made a full dedicated story on that yet. Story, I guess, video on that yet. I will do it, but it's one that I keep close to my heart because it's a great strategy. It's very simple, and yeah, but if you haven't already, go check out our Discord. The link is in the description as well. It should be, at least. And it's currently free at the moment. So go check that out. And I do post, not always live trades in there, but I will start to do that soon. Again, because I've stopped for a little bit. But we do post previous trades, both myself and the community. And, you know, you might get a lot of value from that as well. So go check that out. The link should be in the description. It's a good time over there. And feel free to post some memes in the meme channel. Feel free to, you know, chat over there. It's a cool place. It's a chill vibe. Right, how are we doing? At the moment, not much going on, to be honest. Volume's died down a little bit. It's 11 o'clock here. Now, normally in this situation, I'm just gonna leave this to run. Okay, I'm still waiting on this trade potential, but we've got a little while to wait there. This candle is actually going to close in 20 seconds. So if the next candle breaks out the low, then it's likely I'm just going to pretty much just forget about this one. Because if we look at the hour candle is going to close in the zone, but I'd still want the next hour candle to respect the low and break out the high. So there's the candle closure. And there you go. Golden GU, nice MJ. I like Golden GU a lot. Are you in a prop? Currently no, I've always traded my own capital. We're currently in the background doing Top Step, futures prop, which we've been posting a few videos on here and there. And also a slower road is the 5K for my Forex funds, which there is a series on the channel. The reason why it's taken a bit longer and why I've slowed down on that is because it's not what pays the bills. It does take a bit of time, and sometimes I miss great trades on my normal account for that series. So, but that will be coming out, and I'm going to do some more series on that as well soon. So this candle closing here and breaking out the low, not the end of the world at all by any means. And actually the 45-minute candle closing quite nicely in the zone here is a good sign. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. So yeah, the Aussie trade is kind of slowing down now. I'm not too excited about it anymore. We could definitely flip out bearish on the 2-hour candle and break out the low and then continue down as we thought price may do today anyway. So I'm just going to probably hold off on the Aussie trade. I'll keep this here. But yeah, see how that goes. Gold, on the other hand. Right, gold, on the other hand, is interesting. Okay. Because it's very interesting, in fact. Because we have clean traffic here up to this resistance mark, yeah? So if we go to the, if we go to the 5, we should technically have a fairly clean looking large fair value gap here. If we go to the 15, probably have a fair value gap there as well. One down here, but we have pretty clean traffic, right? There's not really much going on here apart from an up and a down. And a resistance mark, which is on the way up to daily resistance, which is this line here. Okay, so daily candles close across this line exactly here. And obviously we're already in this trade. We've got this runner running from earlier, and I'll run through the reason why we took this trade for those who are new soon. Ram, mark it properly. I don't understand anything. It depends what you mean by mark. Mark what? Sorry, the dailies. Well, I'm going to run through the reason why we've taken this trade in a minute, and the reason why I may take another trade on gold on top of the runner we've already got. Okay, so I'll run through why we took this trade earlier. Now I'll stop if I can move it again without it being lame. It was down below here. Basically, we've got the Asia range. Okay, so we've got Asia range high on the 30-minute. We've got the Asia range low on the 30-minute, and I draw those in with a white candle. Now there is a breakdown video on the channel, so if you want to go check that out, it's about 5 or 6 videos down. I'm wearing an orange shirt. It's called My Simple Asia Range Strategy. But basically, price is closed outside the zone here. Okay, we then had a closure back inside the zone with strong bullish momentum, the largest bullish momentum since yesterday. Okay, so price is closed inside here. Now what we did do is actually miss an entry, because we could have entered as this candle broke out of the top of this candle here. But we didn't get that entry. We actually got, now you see this box here, this box shows the 8 AM London kill zone. Okay, and this is where I would be looking for a silver bullet strategy, which we do also trade, but I only trade those in specific time frames. This one and at 3 PM London time, New York time. Sorry, 3 PM 3 PM London time, but it's the New York kill zone. But what I've been formulating over the last couple of weeks is trying to find situations where we can use this zone to our advantage, as well as the silver bullet, which you can, because you can draw out the highs and the lows, and then you can judge what price is going to do from there. So we closed outside the zone here, and then we put a buy stop above here. Stop loss is going below the previous candle low. We then got triggered into our buy. Price got pushed up to our 1-to-1, which is where our first TP was. We closed 80% of the trade, and then 20% is now left running, and is currently around this area. Well, it's right here at the moment. Our stop loss is at break even. Okay, when price gets to this point, I'm then going to bring our stop from break even up to TP1 to lock in that profit. But what I was going to say is, if this candle does not break below this low, and in fact I could bring my stop up below this low now, I might even do that, or I might not, because it might break out. If this candle respects this low, which it might not, because it doesn't look like it wants to, and then breaks out the high, we can look for another entry. Okay, because it shows that we're not making a new lower low, and price is looking to continue up to that clean traffic area where we have that resistance. Now I can see we've just broken out the low, is what it is. But yeah, so we're not going to take that trade now because it's invalidated. So I went through all that and it's an invalid trade, but whatever. So yeah, really right now, what have we got? We've got this oil trade, which is slowing down a little bit. I'm going to let this one run for the rest of the day. We've got Aussie, which I'll keep an eye on, but now it's kind of slowed down. I'm not too keen on it. So this isn't a trade, by the way. We're not in this. This is a buy stop. I've just got this here to show what we're looking for. And we've got this gold trade, which is doing a runner, and hopefully it can keep doing a runner. So that's about it, really. I might just leave the stream here. It's been awesome, and it's been great to see some of you new guys in here. I'm really going to be trying to do a lot more streams again. I had a bit of a break because it was yeah, I've just been super busy really, and live streams are fine, but like I have my other business. I'm a personal trainer, so my days are crammed with, you know, training people in the gym, both in my apartments and somewhere else. So I'm just very busy all the time. So trying to find a set time to stream sometimes can be difficult while trying to keep my paying customers happy. So I'm going to look to try and make Tuesdays my live stream day. I know it's Wednesday today. And I'm just going to try and jump on live where I can, maybe even if it's just for an hour or so, just so we can get on. But we've had a really nice stream today, caught a really nice trade here on gold, and we're looking for price to continue on oil as well. So what I'll do is I will post the results of these in our Discord. If you haven't already, go check that out down below. It is free at the moment, so you can go check that out and come and join us there. It's a good community of people, like-minded traders, and we're also going to be ramping up the content over there as well. So I'm going to leave the stream there. It's been 2 hours. Thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate you guys. Check out the merch. The merch is, well, I wouldn't really call it merch. I would call it the Traders Club. Clothing line is down here in the bottom left, and the link is in the description on our website. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So thank you for the support, and I'll see you soon. Peace.